Yes, it's working.
It should be.
I
don't
have
know.
to screw something
There's
up.
a little things moving around.
They're moving, man.
Okay.
They're moving.
I'm thinking we're good.
All right. I think I got it, Sam.
Think
Is
you
there
got
anything
it?
else I can screw up now?
Think you got it? Okay, it's there now. They say.
All right.
I got a text
Hey,
message.
guys,
so.
sorry. Sam hooked up everything and screwed it all
Yeah.
up. So I apologize.
So
Anyway, so why don't we start over?
so we're at the show here. Okay, yeah. Start over.
All right, perfect. And it's great to have Dan Lightfoot out there with all that racket going on. Hey, Dan, thanks for the background noise. We appreciate it. Hey, how was the show? The BART Hall Show, man. I saw you there.
Yeah.
I saw Michael there. I saw everybody there. There were so many people that mentioned Tackle Shop Confessions to me.
Yep.
You know, so it was,
That was
great.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'll tell you, I'm a little tuckered out at the moment. You know,
I can imagine.
7 straight days, you know, with the setup and everything like that, and we're still working on getting the store back together. But you know, every day on this first kind of comeback day, you start thinking like, man, what am I doing this for? But to be honest with you, when I'm doing the show, I love doing it. I think that one of the biggest things about it is that I'm able to kind of like help people on like a speed dating, you know, type of like level. You know, you're just going and going and going all day long.
Right.
And even though there's times, like I was mentioning at the last show, there's times when I just don't, you know, I can't give everybody my undivided attention.
Yes.
I feel like we're in a position to try to do our best to help people out by giving them some good deals on some good gear, things like that, you know. And so to me, I love doing it. I love the challenge of putting the booth together, designing it, you know, and trying to figure out what kind of stuff to take and trying to see whether or not the stuff that we take is going to be things that people want to buy. So to me, I just enjoy doing it a lot. But definitely tuckered out. And I want to say, starting out before all of this, I want to give all the thanks to my crew. Those guys did a great job. In fact,
did.
Setting up and breaking down this year was kind of our record time as far as how quickly we did it. And so to me, I feel like, you know, we're getting better all the time. And also I think those guys enjoy doing it too. And they enjoy the challenge of doing a good job. And so thanks to you guys. Hopefully you guys hear me out there, but it was a lot of fun.
Hey, what about this thing right here?
Let's see if we get you untangled here too.
Oh.
Or you're doing that to hold it up? Put that on the
Oh,
ground.
no, I wasn't.
Yeah. So, you know, and forgive me for not being 100% sure, but I think it was William, a gentleman here that watches the show. He gave me this phone stand. You know, the last couple of shows, I was putting a reel box up to kind of hold my phone up so that I can see the questions as they're coming along. You know, in case you miss one, you never do, but in case you misspelled something or misread something, I can kind of back you up.
Yeah, right.
So
You do too catch me once in a while.
Once in a while, but
I
you know,
appreciate
so
it.
I was using a phone, a reel box to hold up the phone. But man, he gave me this thing here. It's an actual phone stand. I didn't even know this thing existed, you know. But I'm telling you right now, this thing is pretty awesome.
Bad
Yeah.
at. You know what I mean?
It is. It's
and so thoughtful,
pretty dang
man.
cool.
We got the best viewing audience of
Yeah.
anybody, man. We really do. And we
Yeah.
saw, I don't know about you, man. I was stopped all the time, and people absolutely love this show.
Yeah, constantly. I would say, you know, 20, 30 times a day, guys would come up, you know, as they get to the front of the line, and, hey, man, I just want to say I love the show. Keep doing it. I'm like, hey, as long as people keep liking it, we're going to keep doing it. You know?
Yeah.
And it's a lot of fun no matter what.
It is.
So it's got to be fun, but it's also great and rewarding to know that people out there are receiving it well and they like watching it.
Yeah, 100%, man. The show overall, your general impressions, I thought Bart really did a nice job.
Yeah, definitely. You know, I mean, so there's a lot of ways to measure it. You know, sometimes people look at it and they're like, well, it's not what it used to be and things like that, you know. So, I mean.
Which is true.
So just to start off with that, you know, I mean, you know, for all the guys who went out there and maybe didn't go last year, maybe the last time they went was 2020, you know, definitely is different than that. But the amount of work that goes into putting something like that together and the amount of resources that he has, you know, and also just the change of crew that he has that's new to shows in general, I think that he's done a pretty good job, you know, and I know that it's kind of like running a sport boat. You know, we show up, we go fishing. Let me see if I can help you with this.
Yeah.
We go fishing sometimes, and we just think that, you know, you just show up and the party gets started. But there's so many processes that are involved with all this, you know, from from the insurance to the booths, designing the booths, getting vendors, and all of the different logistical problems that can happen, plus just the weather that can happen, and maybe having like plans to do, what do we got to do if this happens or that happens.
Yeah, right.
So there's so much that goes into these shows, and I enjoy it. I'm a guy who's maybe a little easy to please. Anywhere I go that there's any kind of fishing to be had, I'm having a good time. So to me, I felt like it was great. As far as
Me too.
as far as what went through the booth, I mean, honestly, we did the same as last year. Actually a little bit better than last year. By a few bucks, not by a landslide, but on a per day basis, what we averaged out was actually even better than last year.
Wow, that's great.
So that being said, to me, if you want to measure it that way, then it was a huge success. Especially with people thinking that the date change was going to be like a big deal.
Right.
So to me, that was a concern, and I think going into it, we were like, well, I wonder how many people know about it and things like that. But I think the guys who are in the know, those are the guys who are the shoppers anyway.
Yes.
That's who showed up and they were shopping.
And Bart actually was doing every single morning. He was doing KTLA.
Yep.
He was on the news, so he was really driving a lot of people to the show. It was great.
Yeah.
Fantastic. I want to say thanks. I want to say thanks to Brad from Western Outdoor News, who called me over and said that everybody at Western Outdoor News every morning gathers up for the morning briefing.
There you go.
And they all watch it. Gave me a coffee cup, Western Outdoor News, and I used it. So Brad, thank you. And Daniel from Eagle Claw, it was really a pleasure to meet you. I'll be talking to you soon, my friend, and I appreciate all your support and you watching the show. And then just everybody who walked up and said how much you enjoyed Tackle Shop Confessions and how much smarter Sam is than me. I really appreciate all those sentiments. It was great, man.
It's
really,
awesome. Yeah,
really.
I'm glad you went down. I know you were kind of like on the fence as to whether or not to make the time to go, but I had guys all day long that were asking, what time's Phil going to be here? What time's Phil going to be here? And like, oh, he's walking around somewhere. So they're chasing you around.
Are you sure? That sounds like Scott. Where's Phil? Where's Phil?
Yeah,
Where's
that's what it was. That's what it was.
You're thinking, oh my God, wait, this is deja vu.
I know.
You want to read a few comments?
Sure.
All right, perfect. James Blanchard. James, how are you, my friend? Great to have you here with us. Hi, Sam. And Phil, are you going to do any white sea bass fishing trips? Well, are you? I know I have one I can talk about.
Yeah.
I got one. It leaves in June. I'll have those dates out to you tomorrow if you'd like, or you can just send me a text, James. We have a reverse 2.5-day trip on the Apollo out of 22nd Street Landing, limited to 21 anglers. And man, I'm telling you right now, 20 anglers, I think it is, 20 or 21. And we leave at 10 a.m. So we could literally go to the Channel Islands if that's where the bite was, or if that's where we had to make our squid, or if there's a bite on Tanner, Cortez, or somewhere else on Bluefin tuna, you'll be fishing them that very first night and then get 2 days of it, basically. So really, that is going to be a great trip on board the Apollo. If you want that, just send me a text. I'll send you our charter list. It's 657-227-6459. I'll announce that on the morning briefing tomorrow, James, but that's just one of many great trips. Jeff Yeomans, 540 Slingers. Good evening, Phil and Sam. And you knocked me off the air, man.
No,
what are you doing to me?
Good.
I know. Let me go back to the top here. For some reason, we're having trouble with my feed. And the Friedman Adventures family. Steve says, can't wait. Let's go. Thank you, Phil and Sam, as always. Robert Slagers. Robert, 805 trips. I know, man. I'm working on it. Sam, why do you ignore Phil at the BART Hall Show? Very perceptive and great question, Robert.
Well, Robert,
I'm going to take his phone stand away.
I'm not really sure how you can tell. I ignore him all the time.
You don't ignore me on the show too much.
So I really want to make sure that he doesn't feel like the show is any different. The last thing I want to do is go over there and make him feel weird about me paying attention to him. So
look, Sam thinks I'm an egomaniac, so he's trying to just knock me down a notch. So you're just a regular guy. Quit acting like I don't act that way.
A regular guy, huh?
Just regular, man, not premium. All right, and the no audio, we got it. Our mic checks. Michael Limon fixed that all. He's our guy. Steve Bermudez, what do you think of the ergonomic angle or pliers?
Yeah, you know what he's talking about?
Is he talking about David Rosenthal's pliers?
Yes, yeah.
I love them myself. I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
they're great. What do you think?
Yeah. He did actually gave me a pair. You know, and they're pretty cool. You know, I mean they're a different kind of plier. They're a little bit on the large side, to be honest with you. But what they do is that because you're going to hold it in a different way, the way you're going to squeeze them, you're going to be able to apply a lot more pressure to the jaws. So that's really the deal with those. And I think that there are times where, especially if you're going to get a big hook out of a big fish and it's just kind of hard to get out,
Yeah.
that extra leverage I think could be the key. So I could see it being something useful in those situations. Most of our everyday stuff, like bass and things like that, where you can pretty much just pop a hook out. I don't know if I would really want to use those pliers. They're so big. But anything on the bigger game stuff, or maybe jig fishing, maybe where you're gonna have just a bigger hook set or something that you maybe have two hooks in or something like that, maybe wouldn't be a bad idea. But definitely on the big fish stuff, I could see where that would be come into play.
All right, perfect. Tony Alvarado says, I saw guys there. Did you see guys there?
You saw guys there, yeah.
Isn't that what that says?
Yep.
Yeah, okay. We saw him too, Tony. Lots of guys.
saw you
Dan
guys
Lightfoot, huh?
Maybe said I saw you guys there.
Oh, that's it. Thank you, Dan. Or Tony. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
We got it now. I'm a little slow tonight. Dan Lightfoot says, hit that like button. I concur with Dan as we surge up to 18 likes, and we'll be over 25 in less than 5 minutes. Yeah. All right. Omar, I'm standing out front. Omar walks up, who contributes all the time to our show. Omar, good to see you.
Mhm.
And he's like, oh my God, and he looks at me real, like, seriously, and goes, can I take a photo with you? And I go, absolutely not. My photos are like, he goes, oh, I'm so sorry. And then I, let him know I was BSing him. Omar, you are such a great young man. It's great to see you. What's up, guys? Couldn't go to the
BART Hall Show, BHS.
Is it a different Omar? I'm
Could
sad.
be. Yeah, you just said about
like,
it.
yeah, I met Omar out front, and he was a great guy.
You guys had dinner together.
The guy named Omar walked up to me. I took a photo with him. All right, maybe it's another Omar. Yeah, busted.
This is why I ignore him.
Yeah. All right, so I couldn't take advantage of the rod blanks. All right, MJM, that is Mark. Mark, good to see you. Hey guys, great seeing you at the BART Hall Show. Sam, I spoke to you, Daiwa, about the Lexa 500. They stated, they didn't just say, they stated 30 to 35 pounds of drag. What do you think? Good enough for 100 to 200 pound tuna?
Yeah, definitely that's enough drag for that size of fish, but it's still going to be a small reel, guys. So it's not going to be the go-to reel. Now, Mark, he's probably more thinking about jig fishing or popper fishing, and I think in that arena, at this moment right now, I wouldn't have any problem with giving it a shot for sure. It just has more line capacity basically than the 400. It's about the same size as a 400, but just with more line capacity. So to me, I think it's going to be okay. But we'll have to see. It's one of those things. I don't want to say, well, yeah, go buy that reel and go hook a 200-pound tuna and you'll be just fine.
Yeah.
Anytime you hook a fish over 100 pounds, a lot of things can go wrong. And so, and especially if you're using lighter gear, and I would still consider that reel, even the Tranx 500, in that category of being lighter gear. But what it does for you is you can cast with it. These Lexas, that's probably the one place that they excel in is being able to cast. And so if you need to cast a lightweight popper to these big fish, I think it's going to do it really good. You hook a 150-pounder, you're going to be in for a tussle.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about it. You're not just going to wind them right to the boat. You'll be on them for a while, and you got to be able to know how to use some small gear on a big fish, and you got to have some things go your way. So it's definitely within the realm of possibility. Will a 200-pounder be caught on an Alexa 500? I'm positive. Is it going to be the reel that you always want to have only for that? Probably not. If you can use a bigger reel, I still would. But for casting, I don't think you're going to beat it.
All right, perfect. That sounds good to me. Robert Graver, good evening, gentlemen. Sam, truly a pleasure to meet you in person at the show. Are you going to PCS, and will you have similar deals?
Yeah, and actually, we're going to be going to Del Mar first, which is in 3 weeks. We'll be headed to Del Mar, and we'll have some similar deals. The biggest difference is going to be, and like I mentioned it at the last show, is that we may or may not have as much variety of inventory. Because as far as I know, just us and Turners, we're going to be the only retailers that go to all 3 shows. And so I would imagine even Turner's by then, they're going to be out of a few different things. So as far as the discount amount, yeah, we're probably going to be the same for all 3 shows. But I'd venture to say that there might be a possibility that we're out of, one item or another. So, be on the lookout for that as far as a possibility. So, but yeah, we'll be there for sure. We're not going to have as big a booth there at that show. So we may not have as much stuff just to begin with because our booth isn't going to be as big, but we'll definitely have some deals there. Omar was asking here the next question.
Yeah, go ahead. Because I'm all screwed up here somehow.
How you were talking about the show.
Yeah.
He asking for the Lexa 500 is definitely a must-have. He's actually just making a statement, and yeah, you're right. Actually, we might even pre-sell some. I talked to my rep today, and I asked him, well, how many can I pre-sell? What do you think I'm going to get? And I said, well, what if I pre-sell 10 of them? And he said, yeah, I think if you do that, you're going to be more than fine. Because what I didn't want to do is pre-sell 10 of them, and then we get 8 of them, and then now 2 guys.
Got a fist fight with Dan Lighthouse.
I don't want to do that.
Scott Buchert.
So the way that he explained it to me is that there's 2 shipments coming in. So however many I ordered in, I'm not going to get them all on the first shipment, but that first shipment that's coming in is going to go to all of the guys that are going to be at the PCS show. That's just going to be the official first place that you can buy it. And so as far as I understand it, from my order, I'm going to get part of that order for the PCS show. The rest of my order is coming closely after. Maybe 2 weeks after the PCS show, I'll get the rest of my reels. So he said, yeah, go ahead and pre-sell them. You should be okay. And what I'm going to probably do is pre-sell 10 of them. I had one gentleman call this morning and ask about that. So if you want to call me back tomorrow, you can go ahead and pay for it. They're going to be $450 plus tax on those reels. And you guys could be, the first 10 guys to get them. Also, I talked to him.
When are we going to get the first look at these reels?
Also, I was talking to you earlier.
Yeah.
And talking to the my rep for Daiwa. And so he's going to bring one down for us to show the 26th.
Is that Monday?
February 26th.
That's a Monday?
That is a Monday.
Perfect. Yeah. If it's not, we'll do a special.
Yeah. So on that day to show, and that's going to be
the first time the public will get a look at it.
Yeah. So that's going to be
breaking news.
Yeah, that's going to be the first time that they're going to be. They've already done all the work of doing all social media posts, but on that 26th is when you guys are going to be able to actually see it. You'll see it online that day, I'm sure, in many different ways. But you'll have a chance. We'll have a chance to talk about it a little bit more.
Fantastic.
On that day,
and people will get to get that first look at that great reel.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Yeah. And don't forget the raffle that you came up with. That very night, we're going to raffle off a date with Scott Buchert. So, yeah, not the reel.
Yeah, you guys were negotiating that earlier.
Yeah, you heard that, right?
Yeah.
He's creating domestic problems for me at home. Did I say David Rosenthal said good evening, fellas? Speaking of those great pliers.
Yeah.
I saw David at the show. I was over at the Promar booth for a little bit. I should say hi to Steve Oropesa and Joaquin Espinosa and everybody over at the Promar booth. Had a great time with them. Halibut Man says, I love Mitchell. Mitchell, you're the best. Looks like you guys are boring Michael Limon. You looking bored back there? Let me see you smile. Let me see, raise your hands like you're excited.
Yeah, start doing those jumping jacks
again. Yeah, really?
Yeah.
Hey, Chuck, are you out there? You want to pay this kid to do jumping jacks again? Israel De La Cruz, good evening, Phil and Sam and the Friedman Adventure family. Israel, it's always great to see you here. Red Pill, good evening, gentlemen. Good seeing you at the show, Sam. I'm sorry I missed you, but it's great seeing you also. What are you doing to me? Tyler Tanaka, Turbo T2. Hello, Friedman Adventure family. What's the best thing each of you saw at the BART Hall Show? I'll get divorced if I say what it was.
Oh, man.
I'll tell you, that Progressive insurance bill. Whoa, boy, I'm telling you, those discounts they've got this year. Yeah, if you bundle your homeowners and auto, you get a hell of a discount.
I heard you switched over.
No, I'm only kidding. Go ahead. Do you want to go first? The best thing I saw.
Honestly,
I've got an easy answer.
I didn't get out a whole lot, to be honest with you.
Right.
I was kind of stuck there the whole time, doing my job. But man, it's a variety of things. I've been actually working that show for 25 years now or something like that.
Jeez.
So, to me, not a lot of it's new, but the thing that I like seeing the most and I see it every year. This year, just as much as any year, is watching families come through the booth. To me, every year that happens,
There was a lot of that this year.
yeah,
Yeah.
and I enjoy seeing it because it just gives me hope that we got more people in the industry, and it's coming forward. But I will say this: one thing that is different this year that I don't think they've ever done there is that star tournament. I don't know
Yeah.
if you were kind of watching out what that was, but so through CCA, they're going to be
Well, that sounds like a
doing
heck of a thing.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's going to be starting May 25th, going all the way through Labor Day, I believe. And so they have this tournament, star tournament, and you can win an 18-foot Parker. That's
Right.
all together,
And
all
it's
in.
$40 to get in, right?
Yeah, $40 to get in. This thing is fully outfitted. It isn't like a bare bones thing that you're gonna have to go spend 30 grand on to get going. The thing has everything. I think it's gonna like 70 grand or something like that altogether. What that thing's worth. That's only the grand prize. That's not including all the other stuff. So for all you guys that are local fishermen or offshore fishermen, pretty much they've got every category covered so that you have a possibility of winning the thing. So that was kind of a cool thing. I think that's going to be a huge thing for years to come. And they're going to be promoting it at all the other shows, I'm sure as well. But that was a cool deal.
Yeah. I kind of go along with Sam when he said the family thing, but the best thing I saw were all the people that I got to say hi to and then meet new people and just, I take that like, I don't know whether serious is the word, but when somebody goes out of their way to walk up and say, "Hey,
Yeah.
I'm watching your stuff. I really like it," that means a lot to me.
It means a lot. Yeah.
And I try to give
It's
that
cool.
gratitude back to them because we're nothing if people aren't watching
Right.
this. So
Right.
that's probably the best thing for me, for sure, Tyler. All right, Jay, looking forward to this show as soon as dumb Phil Frieman can get the audio working. Yes. Bluefin jigging, thinking about taking my line off and going with colored metered line. Suggestions on brands, many thanks. Is Michael Limon still bored? Oh, he didn't say that.
He didn't
Go
say
ahead.
that, no.
You okay back there?
So it really depends on the size of reel you're going to be doing. One of the biggest difference about the different kind of lines is that the different thicknesses to them. So some of them are real thick, which is fine if you're using a big reel like a international 30 or a 50 or something like that. You can go with a thicker line. But sometimes if you're using a smaller reel, you might use some thinner lines. So that's something to consider there. The other part about it that I think is kind of almost the most important part is to use a line that is broken up in 100-foot increments. The reason for that is that when we're fishing, the captain is definitely going to be calling out how deep you're going or how deep you need to be because that's where the fish are. But usually they're going to be in about 100-foot increments as far as the zone that they're going to be asking you to be in. 250 to 350, 300 to 400, stuff like that. And so what that does for you is that when you go to drop your jig, is that you're going to drop it maybe past that mark, but you're going to work about 100-foot zone. And so having your line already marked in the 100-foot increment, it makes it easy because you'll drop down to, let's say, green, and now you're just going to work green. You just go when you get to green back on your reel, you drop it back. And the reason that works, or why I recommend it, is that number one, that's where the fish are. For whatever reason, they're not going to come up to 200 feet and bite your jig if they're down at 400 feet. And I don't really know the reason why. I'm sure there's a scientific, biological reason, but they just don't. You got to be down right in front of them to get a bite. That's number one. Number two is if you're winding too far, you're just making yourself more tired. And part of the secret about catching these fish at night is basically being in front of them when they start to bite. Because you can find these fish over in schools over and over and over again and fish these things 3-4 hours, 5 hours all night long. And it isn't until they want to go that you start getting bites. Now, when they want to go, typically you'll get them in bunches, but you don't know when that's going to be. And you could literally wear yourself out if you're winding too far. So that's another big benefit of having that 100-foot mark is that it kind of limits the area that you're working and makes sure that you don't burn yourself out by the time the fish start to bite.
All right, very good. So many great questions tonight. Hit that like button, everybody. We've surged past that 25, like I said we would.
Oh, we can go home now.
Not yet, man. All right, the tops. Awesome show as always, Sam. Great question, by the way. What was everybody looking for and buying at the show? Did you notice any trends?
Nothing in particular. We did have some pretty good specials on some United composites. I know we sold a lot of those. We did have some really good prices on some rain shadow blanks In fact, we were doing them 40% off, so we sold a ton of those. We never sold this many rain shadow blanks. Obviously, the price was really good, but that was pretty awesome to see that guys were not only were they receptive to the discount, but it was a sign that we've kind of had those blanks in our market long enough that now guys knew what they were. So they were coming in, they knew the model that they were looking for. They didn't just come in and say, "Well, I saw you. I see you're selling cheap blanks. What would be good for a 30-pound
Right.
rod?"
They knew.
They knew exactly what it was. They
Yeah.
knew that the price was going to be good, and they bought.
Yeah.
So that was kind of cool to see. Sold a lot of fluorocarbon. Sold a lot of Mad Max against this year,
Oh,
which
yeah?
we didn't sell hardly any all year long.
Really?
It was weird. They really weren't being used that much.
Yeah.
So maybe something's brewing down there. Maybe something we don't know about.
Yeah.
But definitely a lot of Mad Max this year. That Squid Trex lure from Nomad,
Yeah.
we sold a lot of those as well. It's something once again that didn't sell that well during the year, but they came out with a smaller one. There's a small one that came out, and I think maybe that might have spurred it on a little bit. Now,
That is good
small one,
for what kind of fishing?
so
For
it's
what kind of fish?
pretty universal fish. It's basically a plastic that's already rigged with a lead head inside.
Okay.
But the small one is something that I think is going to be really, really useful. We were just talking about fishing bass, but
Is it similar to a hookup bait?
in a way,
Yeah.
I'll go grab one. We'll check it out.
All right,
there.
cool.
But that was another thing. And then we sold a lot of fluorocarbon.
Yeah.
A ton of fluorocarbon. We had a good deal on that. Buy two, get one free. So we sold, if I had a venture to say 300, 400 spools of fluorocarbon or
Whoa.
something like that. So maybe more. I don't know. But
Yeah.
so that was a hot one too. But let me grab that
Sure.
lure to show
While
it off.
Sam does that, I will look at you all and tell you that we have a 5-day trip on board the Independence. It sails April the 4th and returns April the 9th on my son Philip's birthday. Philip threatens that he's going to be there. Scott Bouchard is on that trip. Dan Lighthouse says he's going to be on that trip. The Elf will be there. Don't forget, independentsportfishing.com. Check that trip out. They have other great trips also, and hopefully I'll see you on that great trip. Take it away, Sam.
Keep going. I got to open these.
And don't forget, tomorrow, the morning briefing. I'll be on the air, as always, with you every single morning, running down the bite from Cabo San Lucas up to the Channel Islands. Man, I love doing the morning briefing. This morning, I got all this black crap all over my hands. I saw something that said it would eliminate rust. I sprayed it on my tripod. I grabbed my tripod, and it stuck to my hand. So that tells you what I know about anything that has to do with, anything like that. I'm a numbskull, so I doubt that I have to explain that to anybody. 71 people watching the show right now. Lots of likes. Very happy to have you all with us as we continue to push ahead. I'm on my way to Mexico tomorrow, taking more clothing to Mexico, thanks to all of you, as well as attending a fisheries meeting in Ensenada with the Mexican government. I was invited to do it, and so I will happily go down and listen and see if I can't learn something for you all. We'll be talking a lot about the tournament, the Bluefin tournament in Mexico. So next week, Sam, I'll be able to shed some light on that also and share that with people. All right, that thing's, oh man, that's heavy.
So this is like one of the larger ones. Yeah, this is 150 gram right here. It's a pretty heavy one. This was going to weigh, let's say, 4.5 ounces. But yeah, I could probably do some shallow water rock climbing with that up in Channel Islands. And so that's basically the Squid Trex.
That freaking thing looks nice.
Yeah. It's made out of this super tough plastic, so that lasts a long time too. But that thing's, and it's got this little split ring here too, where you can basically split ring a heavier weight. So if you're going to fish from deeper water, you can just put some more weight there and it'll get it down.
Oh, that's really cool.
So this is the new sizes here, small size here. So you can see this right here working really, really well.
Oh, that's going to work in the surf.
Surf, inside the harbor, all that kind of coastal fishing. I think this is going to be a winner here. So we sold a ton of those new sizes.
That is cool.
That's a size 65. The new sizes go all the way up to a 95. And then the other sizes start at, I think, 110 and go up to 150. Although they actually even came out with another large, super large size. I don't know. These weigh like 12 to 16 ounces. I don't have those here.
Yeah.
But these, I think, the sizes that kind of apply to our fishing
that thing's
here.
bitching.
I can see that one working really well.
Yeah, for sure. You catch all kinds of stuff in the surf with that, guaranteed.
Yeah, for sure.
Halibut, yellowfin croaker, you name it. All right, thank you, Sam. What's your opinion? Raul Almaraz wants to know your opinion, Sam, on the Macaira 15T.
Awesome reel. We've talked about it a few times on the show. It's kind of an in-betweener. It's not too small, not too big, but yet it packs a punch. It's a smaller reel that holds a lot of line and has a lot of drag. I think it has a 2-to-1 low gear ratio, So it has a ton of torque, big handle, and it'll hold about 500 yards of 80-pound braid. So you could catch just about anything on that. That I wouldn't consider it to be my go-to big fish reel, but in this day of age of using small reels for big fish, that thing does a really, really good job. I'll go grab one to check to show
All
you
right,
off here.
perfect. And I'll remind you all that the next BART Hall Show, and think about this, everybody. Sam just busted down from the Long Beach show. He's putting everything back in there, and in very little time, he's going to put it all back in a truck and go down to Del Mar, which, if you're coming to us from some other part of the world, is very near San Diego. So kind of takes care of that community down there. And that's going to be February 15th through the 18th. Of course, I'm going to be running around there again. Sam's going to be there. That's a fun show also. And plus, for you horse racing fanatics, Del Mar Racetrack is there. I don't know if the horses are running, but there's some off-track betting if you care to throw out a little exacta or trifecta, or even a superfecta. How's that?
Yeah. So this is the Macara 15T. It's kind of in the middle between, like, if you were to compare it to an Avid, it's about the size of an LX maybe, but it has a little bit lower gear ratio, and like I was mentioning earlier, this bigger handle, so that makes it so you can really apply a lot of force, a lot of torque on a big fish. So it's a super nice reel. I mean, these things have crazy good free spool right out of the box, and they have really, really strong drags. I mean, I'm not sure the drag numbers, but it's got to be up in like that 35, 40-pound range, for sure. More than we really need for a reel that size anyway. And so, yeah, it's a super nice reel. If you got that reel, I'd be fishing maybe 60-pound on it, but there's no problem fishing 80 or even 100 on it, really. You don't hold as much line when you're fishing that big line like that, but it definitely has the power to do so. So no problem with that here.
Hey, oh, no, you didn't. But, man, I ran some video of the trout pond this morning. Did you see that?
I didn't.
It was one young man, Ethan Parcell.
Okay.
And, oh, my God, just the joy and the fact that you can see there's a kid that's hooked on fishing.
Yeah.
And that's part of the BART Hall Show, that introduction into fishing. And, the guy that was helping him is going, do you want to keep it? And he's like, yes, I want to keep it. Yes. And he's like, you sure you want to keep it? And he goes, yeah, I'm positive I want to keep it. So it was cute. No question, man. And that is just another great part of the show.
Yeah.
All right. We'll see here. David Rosenthal, that's the first time I've heard that about the pliers. It's usually the bass, rockfish, surf fishing, and freshwater anglers that really like them. Thanks for the input.
All right.
Very good. Thank you, David. Walter, so glad I got to meet you. Sam, you guys rock.
Thanks, Walter.
That means a lot, man.
That's
Walter,
awesome.
Thank you. Martin, hello. In Sam's booth, I saw a rain shadow blank called the San Diego Special, maybe? SD Special. What was it designed for?
So, and forgive me for not remembering off the top of my head here, but actually SD does stand for something else.
Oh, it does? Okay.
Yeah. It was a special cut of blank, old saber blank that they used to put together for wahoo fishing back in the day, so in the saber days. But I would say, it's an 8.5-foot blank, fishing no problem, 30, 40-pound test. It's really kind of more of almost a surface iron action to it, kind of parabolic. I'd consider it something similar to maybe like a 530 CalStar or something like that. But yeah, super nice blank. We sold a bunch of those actually as well. We actually ran out one day. We had to come get back to the shop and get some more. I think after the sale they were like $100 or something like that. So super good price on that blank. And but I consider it a jig stick. That's what I would consider. 8.5-foot, kind of all around jig stick.
All right, Jose says, if we purchased the Lexa 500 with you, can we pick it up at the PCS show?
You should be able to, yeah. That would
if you have them.
Yeah.
I mean, they're still, more than likely you're going to have it, but you should. Yeah.
They're on their way. It's just a matter of Daiwa getting them to us. So, but like I said earlier today, I talked to the Daiwa rep, and he said that he was going to have them for us, for everybody who's going to be going to the show.
Yeah.
And so, as far as I understand it, yeah, that you'll be able to do that. You'll be able to pick it up at the show. I think that we should be able to pick it up before the show, even, once they land. Pretty much after the 26th, that's when they're going to be officially released. We probably won't have them on the 26th to pick up. I imagine a couple of days after that, but that's going to be right coming up to the show. So there may be a chance that you can pick them up here, but I would say for sure at the PCS show shouldn't be no problem.
Man, I'm so glad that Monday Night Football is a thing of the past. Back to well over 100 viewers. Live with us. So, man, that's good. Not that I'm wishing that the NFL would go down the tubes, but How'd you like that game yesterday? Did you watch it? Oh, probably not. You just
No,
been
yeah, I was
busy.
working. Yeah,
Yeah. What was that?
Both of them
The
were good.
Lions got way out in front, and they
I
looked like they were
know.
in the driver's seat.
They had it.
Frickin' San Francisco just came back in the second half and clocked them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, let's go to Halibut Man. This guy, Halibut Man Mitchell, he's a good tutor for. He's just one of those really super fishy guys, man. And what he says here, I wouldn't doubt. I'm in that star tournament.
There you go.
And that boat is as good as mine, and I wouldn't doubt it, man. I'll tell you that right now. Isaac says, "Good evening, awesome seeing everyone at the show. It was great seeing you and the family." He sent me the video of his son Ethan catching the trout. It was great. Steve says, "Will there be Alexa 500 for our lefties, for us lefties?" Too?
Yeah, so that's actually one of the big news things about that reel is that they are making it in the left hand. So, and I think they got like three speeds options, and right and left hand. So that's kind of one of the other big news things about it. That the Tranks doesn't come in a left hand. So all the guys that have been wanting that reel for so long, now they can get a larger baitcaster left-handed.
Man, it's about time, right? Those poor lefties, man, they want that. Exactly. Tony, Phil, Daiwa J-braided, multicolored, change every 33 feet. Thin, smooth, and strong. Thank you, Tony. Good stuff. Appreciate it. KC, hey guys, what are your thoughts on the quality of the rain shadow blanks? I picked up a few at the show last weekend.
Yeah, we've been selling that blank here for, I don't know, 6-7 years now, maybe longer, maybe 8 years. But it's been fine. I mean, like anything else, when you start getting into like freshwater stuff, lightweight stuff that's thinner walled, you close the door on it or something like that. Yeah, you can break it a lot easier than like a big heavy tuna rod or something like that. But they make everything. They make everything from a trout rod, which we have here, blanks, that is, all the way up to a 4X, big dime tuna rod, so, and everything in between. So, they do a pretty good job. To be honest with you, their quality control is really, really good. All of them are straight and they look good. And we really haven't had any problem with them, and they offer a lifetime, kind of no questions asked, lifetime warranty.
Really?
Yeah. And at first, when I first started carrying it, that's always kind of a thing with rods. It's like, man, how are we going to handle this warranty? Because you never know. You never know how it gets broken, and sometimes it's just an accident. It's not something that maybe even the angler didn't know. Maybe somebody fell on top of it, and then they put it back on the rack, and then 2 months later when they go fishing again, they go to fishing like, oh man, my rod broke. Well, maybe it broke 2 months ago. What's so funny back there? Oh,
he's entertaining everybody while you're talking. What is he doing back there?
But yeah. So we've had very, very good experience with them. As far as quality, no problem. But I can see why he offers that warranty. They just don't come back.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You see very few, or have you seen any?
We've seen. I bet you. We've seen maybe 3. Out of maybe 700 blanks we sold in that time.
Yeah.
Super low percentage, but that's about the same for all of the big brands. United Composites, Seeker, CalStar. It's very, very low. Especially since these are blanks they only sell blanks. So all of these are going to be custom rods. Typically, the guy who's fishing a custom rod is taking care of his gear a lot better. He's not a first-time guy, and so that's another reason we don't see them come back broken, I think, as well. You all right?
Well, I think we should do an over or under as to whether he's when he's going to sneeze again, or maybe he's going to throw up.
10 minutes.
Are you sick to your stomach? No. Okay. All right. Hang in there. We appreciate all the coffee, and it's a nice distraction during the show. Perfect. All right. Let's see. Where are we? Omar, the guy that I said I met that I lied about, right?
Yeah.
Obviously. Omar, there's 2 Omars out there, and the other Omar, just like you, is a super nice guy. Hey, Sam, I'm looking for an RCL. I don't know how these guys know all these numbers and everything. RCL,
RCLB, ADL.
ADL, and RCJB 960 XH, extra heavy,
96,
are regularly available at your shop.
Yeah, regularly available. With this promotion that we're doing at the shows, I would say that if you come down here after this last show, there's a chance we won't have every single model. But on a normal basis, yeah, those are common blanks that we always have. The RCLB series in the 8-foot series, we always have them all. And also that RCJB series, we usually have them all the time.
Steve Bermudez. A highlight for the show for me was meeting and listening to a seminar by the Cabo Surf caster, a real nice guy. He sure is. I can't remember his name right now. He's a super good guy. I used to, communicate all the time. I should be doing a surf fishing thing with him.
Yeah.
I'm going to start doing that. We'll do a surf fishing kind of show because now, you doubted me, and the next day I did a live interview with the Independents, and then I backed it up with the Aloha Spirit. And all the time I was doing it, I'm thinking, I got Sam. I got him finally. Anyway, I know how to do that now, so I have to do that. And I agree with you, Steve. He's a super nice guy. Man, he can provide extraordinary opportunities and adventures in the surf. And you
So
see that
what you're saying is that I could actually do this from home?
It doesn't have the same feel to it, man. We're here. Look, if you were at home, we wouldn't have Dan out there playing on his phone, playing poker.
Wouldn't have
him choking to death back there, and then blowing his nose in his hand, and then all these rods and reels and everything. I mean, come on, this is real stuff here.
Maybe we could try it.
Yeah.
I have a lot of rods and reels.
I'll sit here in your store, and then I'll have the rods out, and you can be at home. You can just pull the covers up.
Yeah.
And then when the show ends, just pull them up and go to sleep. You're done. Let's roll. Grappler Glenn here. Hey, Grappler Glenn, how are you? Bought myself a RCE Monster. Best deal at the show.
Glenn, awesome, bro.
You know Glenn?
Yes.
Okay.
Super cool guy.
Is he a nice guy?
Super cool guy.
Glenn, I knew it.
Yeah, we
Sam, you have to be. Go ahead, Sam.
Well,
a great guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot.
No, Glenn's a cool guy. We actually got a kind of a special rod that traveled between us here a long time ago, and really appreciate it.
This is a family show, right? You got a special rod that traveled between you.
Yeah, we really appreciated that we were able to get it back to him, and it was an awesome story. So Glenn's a super cool guy.
Glenn, thanks for chipping in here tonight. We really appreciate it. Ken Trenholm, speaking of great guys, I watched him catch a giant bluefin tuna, man, with his line so frayed. It was so bad. He's like just working his ass off on this fish. And I look at this frickin' line and it is frayed for 20 feet. And I go, somebody better put a gaff in this thing fast when it comes up. And they got it, man. And Ken got it. All right. Hello, Phil and Sam and the Friedman Adventures family. When are we going to see some merch, Phil?
Never.
Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you so much, Ken. Merch. Oh, my merch.
Yeah.
Pretty soon. Coming up. We're planning on having it by 2036.
Yeah.
Something like that. No, honestly, Dan Lightfoot out here, he's talking about, I'm going to take some time and get that going.
No, you're not.
Yeah, I am. I have to do it. People are asking me, man.
They are asking, and you do have to do it.
I know.
But
all right.
But you're not
Will you push me to do it?
You ain't going to do it.
Oh, you said I would. Oh, here we go again. The split screen remote. You said I couldn't do it. Now that the gauntlet.
That was easy. That was a couple clicks.
Now that the
gauntlet. This involves phone calls.
Yeah, hey, make
work.
me some shirts.
Yeah,
big
right.
deal.
That's how it works. That's how it works.
I'm telling you, I'm going to do it now that you've thrown the gauntlet down.
No way.
Yeah, they'll be available right here at Sam's store. We're going to move all the other ropa or clothing out, and it's just going to be the Phil Frieman, whatever it is, show. What is the name of the show? Friedman Adventures,
Tackle
right?
Shop Confessional shirt.
Yes. Huh? Hey, that's what we need, man. We need a Tackle Shop Confession shirt. We're going to do that. All right. Greg Bates, I think. Progressive. Sam, you, Al, and Phil is Tim Tool Time.
You're Al, and Phil is Tim the Tool Time.
That's right. I never watched that show. I know what he's talking about. Pam Anderson.
Yeah.
What was the name of that show?
He just said it.
Oh.
Tool Time.
Oh, okay. Tool Time. Yeah, I never watched it. So, hey, Greg, very good.
I don't think so, Phil.
Greg, behave yourself in Mexico tomorrow. Greg lets me know that he's bringing the elf costume to Mexico.
Really?
Yeah. If the federale's going to look at that, they'll just toss him in the clink.
He's going to wear it. He's going to wear
it. Boom, La Mesa Penitentiary for a week till we sort this out. 540 Slinger. Hey, Jeff, good to see you, my friend. I saw the Pride will be running 1.5-day trips out of 22nd Street Landing starting mid-February. Great opportunity to get on the halibut and white sea bass early season. There's certainly been some good signal of that. Lately, the halibut bite has slacked up, but it's up and it's down.
They got them today, I think, didn't they?
I didn't check today.
Yeah, I think they got them today.
You got what, like double digits?
Yeah, halibut, yeah.
Oh, cool. On the Native Son?
Yes.
Good. Glad to hear it. Yesterday I had 3. And so, yeah, it's just a matter of conditions, I think. So, yes, very good. That is for sure. Robert Graber, heck of a deal on the squid treks. Thank you. Tony Russo, I guess I watched the morning briefing enough that when we saw you at the show, my wife was like, "Hey, there's Phil." LOL. I know, Tony. It's weird, man, because you get a relationship going,
Yep.
and then once you see people, it means just so much to all of us. So, Tony, thank you so much. Red Pill. Hey, Sam. Speaking about the Macaira 15, how does it compare to the Fathom Torque 40?
Pretty similar, actually. It's in size, they both hold about the same amount of line. And the weight, I would say that the Fathom's maybe a touch lighter. The new Fathom has a low gear, so actually the new Fathom kind of really does compare to this one pretty well. The Torque still has the older gearing, which is just a little bit higher, like 2.5 on the low gear, but still pretty comparable. So yeah, those are very good comparisons, and I'd say they're pretty dang equal. This is still, to me, the feel of this is kind of, since it's a little shorter profile. I'll go grab those reels in a second. But this one, to me, just kind of has a beefier feel. I actually own one of these, and I also own a Torque. I like them both. They're pretty dang similar, and one, I use them both, They're both my 60-pound reels. And usually when I go fishing on my long range boat, I'll take two 60-pound rigs, but let me go grab that other reel.
All right, and just in case the audio wasn't working, I want to thank Brad over there at Western Outdoor News. If I'm repeating myself and the audio was working, forgive me, I'm an old man. But Brad said that the entire crew over there at Western Outdoor News loved to get together for the morning briefing. They're cooped up in an office, said Brad, and he said, man, we get to see that big, beautiful beach and hear about the fishing. And man, that meant a lot to me. And thank you for the coffee cup. I really, really appreciate that. And Daniel at over there at Eagle Claw. It was really nice to meet you. He walked up to me and says, man, I watch your stuff. I like your stuff. So that was fantastic also. I didn't mention Sam at all, but he said he loved my stuff. No. So, I don't know what that's all about. And he did say your special guest once in a while, Greg, or Scott Bouchard.
Scott Boucher?
Scott Boucher.
Yeah.
And they love the kind of stuff like that we have going on with the elf in the background or Michael Emo choking to death. They love all that, kind of levity going on in the background. Go ahead, Sam.
So you're talking about this guy. He was so nice to you, the Eagle Claw guy.
He was super nice.
And then you tear him down by saying he likes all of that trash.
No, tear him down. The man has a superior sense of humor.
Anybody who likes that stuff.
The Three Stooges.
Can't be much.
I mean, this man has a superior sense of humor.
He was just trying to be nice to you. This is the way
he's very nice. Hey, Daniel, don't listen to this guy. Okay? He's trying to start a fight because
I talked to Daniel too. He's a smart individual.
Oh, do you know Daniel?
Yes.
He's a very nice guy.
Smart individual, yeah. I wouldn't see him. He was being nice to you.
He's got nothing in common with me, right?
No. Yeah. So these are the two reels, guys, here. So here's the Fathom, actually the Torque. You can see it's a little larger profile. So it's going to feel like bigger because it's just larger to get your hand around. This is a little smaller. The weight on them, actually, now that I feel them, they're actually pretty dang similar. And you see also the handle is bigger on this guy too, the Macaira. But the Fathom, the new Fathom actually does come with a little slightly larger knob, although it's debatable. Both knobs are nice, but that's kind of the biggest difference there is just the overall sizing of it. This is going to have a more compact sizing, but this one here is good too. I own both of them, and I like them both. I've caught big fish on both of them, and I think they're both great reels.
All right, very good. How about Isaac Parcell sending $20?
Man.
So Michael Limon can eat wings tonight.
Yeah.
What do you think, Michael?
Hopefully he's not allergic to them.
All right. Dan Lightfoot. Dan's going to be having, I don't know if I had a big lunch with my wife. I'm just like over eating right now.
Yeah,
just
me
terrible.
too. I had a late lunch.
What'd you have?
Some chicken.
Does that mean you're not going over there? Or?
Maybe.
Yeah. Oh, you're tired. You got to get over your family. You mean I got to take these two schmucks out tonight?
Yeah,
my God. Well, I'm going to pocket that $19. Forget it. I'm just paying for these two schmucks. I'm kidding. All right. It was Owen, Phil. I'm sorry. My younger son. I'm sorry about that. Did I screw that up on this morning's morning briefing? I better fix that. I'm sorry. Oh, I did. Okay. I'm hearing about it right now. Those little squid treks are deadly on yellowtail.
Interesting.
Yeah, LabWorks is in Australia, right?
Yeah. You said you're flying me out there to shoot some video, right?
Yeah, let's do it, man. We're going to go fish the Great Barrier Reef.
Yeah.
Put the wood to them. I would love that, wouldn't you?
Yeah. I think he does some of that land-based yellowtail
That's
fishing.
even better.
I'd love to do that.
Yeah, me too. That's even better. I would definitely like that. Doug Tilk. What's up, Michael? How about some white croaker tips? Yes. Michael Limon is just an expert fisherman. Doug Tilk came up to the show and immediately saw Michael Limon and his brother John and walked over and bought them 2 giant ice creams, and they enjoyed it thoroughly, right?
That's awesome.
Yes. He probably wants one right now, right, Michael? All right, there you go. All right, Jose, Heck Sam, would the swim bait Fanatic XH be good rod for the Lexa 500? Will you have the rod at the show, or what rods would be good to pair with it?
That's actually a pretty good rod for that. Yeah,
nice job, Jose.
Extra heavy, yeah. You know, but we're going to be looking at some heavier rods now. I mean, that reel, just like the Tranks, you know, is almost more like a jig reel, like a larger full-size reel. So we're going to start getting into that category of a regular, you know, a jig rod almost for it. But the one that you just mentioned there, that XH, is about the heaviest bait caster rod that any company makes, and so that'd be a good one. But after that, you're going to start kind of going into your more heavier bait rods, something rated like a 30 to 80, something like that is kind of what I would look at, 8 to 9 foot for throwing jigs.
All right, very good question. Way to go, Jose. All right, PNS Hornjack. Good evening, gentlemen. Sarah here from Montana. Sorry, we are a little late to the show. Always good to have you. Better late than never. Hope you both are well. Sam, we hope you had a great BART Hall show. We are planning to go next year.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I think you guys will love it. Yeah, awesome experience. Definitely worth the trip.
Coming all the way from Montana. Can't wait to see you guys there. Halibut Man, a real class act at the show. Michael gave a kid an extra hat he had during the seminar. Classy move, brother. Man, Michael, congratulations. Oh, wait, you've been blowing your nose in your hand.
Yeah.
But congratulations. That's fantastic.
Give him a fist bump, maybe.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There we go. There we go. Ugh. Just kidding, Michael. All right. Where are we now? Classy move. Yes, absolutely. Chulas, calamari, and kayak rentals. I always ask this guy where he's rents his kayaks, but I don't think he does.
How does he rent squid?
I don't know, man. Got a Penn Fathom Low Pro 300 for calico and sea bass. Need a rod recommendation, United Composite, etc.
Yeah, for that one there, if you're going to go on the United Composite, would be that Swim Bait Fanatic line, just how Jose was mentioning, but more like in a medium or medium heavy would be comparable for that. But if you're going to go to another brand of rods, you know, those Daiwa, they make some nice rods in that Proteus line. Also the Phoenix rods. But look at something like in the 12 to 30, 15 to 40 pound range of rod would be what I'd recommend with that. 8-foot rod would be great.
All right, very good. Isaac wants to know Sam, are you taking pre-orders on the Lexa 500? The answer is yes, right?
Yeah.
Just call you tomorrow?
Call us tomorrow. We're going to do 10. You know, I kind of asked him how many I should do. I talked to the rep, and he said, and, you know, we kind of agreed that 10 would be a safe number. So we're going to pre-sell 10 of them, and you starting tomorrow.
And he wants to know if I'm taking pre-orders on my merch. Not yet. You know, I'm waiting for it all to roll in. There's a little supply chain thing going on. It's been going on for 2 years.
You've been working on it for a while.
A couple of years. You know, my connections in China, I have it coming in from there. But it got a little screwed up. It went to Taiwan, and then there was the Chinese Navy kind of intercepted it, and they caught the admiral wearing some of my Friedman Adventures underwear. So we're trying to work that all out. It's kind of an international incident right now, and we'll have it worked out shortly.
Never going to happen.
Yeah, it's going to happen. Raul, Sam, so when do you think you'll be getting more GF 800M blanks?
That's a tough one. You know, talking to the guys at CalStar, they were working really hard to get me my show orders, you know, through this next couple shows. I didn't have any for the Long Beach show, but I might have some for Del Mar. You know, unfortunately, when I get them, I'm going to take them to the very next show, so there's really no holding or nothing like that. But if not, then it sounds like if I don't have them for the Del Mar show, that almost for sure we'll have them for PCS. But there's no guarantees. I think I'm going to have a few coming in the next couple of weeks, but it's hard to say when. You know, just watch out for our social media posts when I post on there. guys always call like the next day and says, "Well, I want to get that blank." I'm like, "Oh man, that was yesterday. It's already been sold." So you kind of have to be Johnny on the spot with that and give us a call down. You don't have to buy it right there, So even if you're like, "Oh man, I can't swing it right now," give me a couple days, you know, give us a call. We'll hold it for a day or two, as long as we're not going to be going to the show. That is, but so don't hesitate to call us if you see it posted up on social media.
All right, hit that like button, everybody. I'm so stoked with all the likes tonight. How many we got over on your thing? Because mine stalled out.
90.
90 likes?
No, 90
90 people watching right now.
10 likes.
No, it isn't. It's over 50.
56.
How many? 56. Let's get it up over 75.
Well, we got a thumb down. No, wait, that's wrong.
Oh, cut it out. You're pushing it on yourself too when you do a thumbs down. Did I tell you Greg Bates is going to chime in here in a moment? So we get to Diego's house to deliver the clothing to El Zorillo, which is a barrio, not, I wouldn't say rough barrio, but, and did I tell you how I tortured Greg? So everybody told him, you're going to get your head cut off if you go to Mexico. So then he's like, kind of going like, what? There's nothing going on here. It's fine. So I walk up to him and I go, hey, Diego and the guy, they're carrying, okay? They got arms because where we're going is not, and he's like, what? And I go, they both are, and he goes, I thought guns are illegal in Mexico. And I go, well, they are, but just calm down. If if he bends over and you see the pistol, just
don't get scared. Yeah,
freaking out. I go, oh no, Greg, calm down. So Greg says, I'll take the low on the merch thing. The over under, I guess he means.
Could be.
The over would be more time, and the under would be less time. Oh, he's betting against you. Put an over and under on it, Sam. Let's have it, and then I'll have some merch.
I don't care what it is. It's going to be over.
What's the date right now? Okay, the over under is St. Patrick's Day,
March 17th.
March 17th. We will have merch, and I'll tell you what. And I'm glad you mentioned it.
How much merch we talking?
It doesn't matter. We're gonna have some merch. On the hat there.
You're gonna go wash a hat and be like, "Here, you guys can buy this one hat."
So here's the deal, and Sam's forgotten this because he's been too busy. March the 17th, St. Patrick's Day. I'm sure Greg Bates will be dressed up as a leprechaun. We're gonna be at 22nd Street Landing. The hours I'll hone down for you, but 9 to 1 is a safe bet. We'll have breakfast burritos there, and the El Patron will be running harbor cruises free. For all of you, bring the family, bring the kids, bring the grandkids.
That's cool.
And so we'll be doing that whole thing. And at that event, there will be Friedman Adventures merch. I guarantee it.
3 dozen of each size.
Yeah, whatever.
Small.
Is that what you're? I can do that.
And then,
yeah.
And then how many hats? You'll have 2 dozen hats available.
Are you saying that? Is that what you're throwing at me?
Well, that would be a minimum to say merch.
Perfect. All right, there you got it. And Greg Bates is going to help me do it. And Dan Lightfoot, he's going to do something. I'm not sure what it is, but yes, there you have it. Okay, now we have. I need that, man. I need a freaking deadline. I need it.
You need doubters.
Yeah, exactly. All right, Sal Garcia is not a doubter. He's a great guy. My second favorite fishing show. I'm just playing, fellas. I like Sal. Hey, Sal. Great seeing you at the show. Just got off work and probably missed on the If Island will be at the PCF show. Yeah, of course. Yeah. Sam will be there.
This year we're doing all 3 shows, yeah.
And probably next year, right?
I mean, we'll see after this last show how I feel, but yeah.
Tim says, get that poor kid some Robitussin.
Yes.
Yes. His grandpa said he would get it, but he bet an exacta that didn't come in at Santa Anita today. So
well, he's monitoring the channels over there.
I can see that, man.
Yeah, he's making sure.
Oh man, almost 100 viewers again coming up here with 95 on my little thing. So we thank you all for tuning in to Tackle Shop Confessions tonight. Let's see. Sorry for the typos in my comment, says Sarah. Don't worry about it. Autocorrect. That was supposed to say, hope you had a great time at the BART Hall Show. I thought I read it that way.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, pretty much.
It was awesome.
Okay. All right. What are you doing to me here? What are you trying to do to me?
Where'd it go?
I don't know. You're screwing me all. Oh, here we are.
Where'd it go?
I don't know. There we are. Recent land-based catch, Labworks in Australia, by a friend, a 97-pound yellowtail.
Wowzers.
Huh?
Wowzers.
Yes. 97-pound yellowtail on 150 popper was a
Millimeter,
millimeter.
yeah.
Whew.
That's
a
big
different
one.
species of yellowtail, of course, but
Yeah.
God almighty.
Jeez.
Dude, come on. You got to bring us along with you. Scott Butchert is here with a $5 bill
There you go.
after creating all kinds of problems for me today with my lovely wife, Ruth, but I'll see if I can't get through it. Yeah. And Scott, you need to talk to him. You're a father figure for him, too. Tell him to stay out of that Ojos Locos sports bar
I'll tell
over
him.
in Downey.
Stay out of there.
Yeah. Scott, this is disgusting. Stop that. Sal Garcia, what's your prediction on the hot bait of the year? Seems like the ghost popper and the squid tricks were the lures of 2023. Sam, what's it going to be this year? Look into your crystal. Oh, that, huh? You
Surface
like
iron. Surface iron.
Surface iron.
Yeah.
Any particular brand?
No. Tatty.
Any. Oh, Tatty 45.
Yep. Tatty.
That's it?
That's it.
Okay, there you got it.
Any Tatty's gonna be the hot jig,
Why-
or Salis, or JRI, but
or kicker.
or kicker.
Yeah, or whatever.
Yeah, or whatever.
Yeah, right. Though maybe it'll be the Friedman Adventures surface iron because I'm going to have merch coming out.
Oh,
on
you might
St.
as well.
Patrick's
What
Day.
else? Yeah.
Yeah.
Fluorocarbon, Spectra, rods, reels. What else is
Right.
gonna come out?
Don't miss March the 17th at 22nd Street Landing, 9 a.m. We will be there and we will be selling merch. And what else are we doing?
I'm gonna set up the table. You're gonna be selling all the giveaway shirts you get.
Yeah, in fact, Greg Bates, we got a bunch of shirts giveaways that we're taking to Mexico, and he goes,
Uh-huh.
"Man, these are really nice shirts. Why don't you just put Friedman Adventures on some of these?" I'm like, for a second, they're like, "Yeah, that's not a bad idea." All right, Joel Lopez. Hey guys, great to see you. Question on the Fathom 40: would it be better for knife jigging to go 80-pound braid, more line cap capacity, or 100-pound less capacity? And what about having mono top shot? Thanks.
Yeah. You know,
Thank you, Joel.
I'd probably put 80-pound on that reel. You know, both of these reels here are going to be definitely on the small side when you talk about nighttime jig fishing, and not that they're incapable, but you know, nighttime jig fishing, you could be catching 40-pound tuna or 240-pound tuna. So that being said, I don't think that the 80-pound is going to be the issue so much. You know, for catching a big fish, it's really going to be more line capacity. You hook a big one going the wrong way, you know, it's just going to take all your line. You know, and I've seen it with even bigger reels than these. So these reels are going to be, I think, comfortable fishing, no problem. 80-pound braid, but so I would go with that with a little bit extra line capacity in case you get a big fish that wants to take a long run. You'll have a little bit more real estate that's to stop them. And as far as the mono top shot, you know, you can go either way. I've done it both ways. I don't think I have really a strong preference. Lately, what I've done this last year, the last couple of years actually, is run a mono top shot, not for stretch, but more as an alarm that my lure is coming up to the surface. So once I feel that mono come up onto the tip, I'll basically stop winding and slow down so that I don't hit the swivel on the tip, you know, for my bite leader. So that's the reason I do that.
All right, hey, give me that mouse, will you?
No,
I can't get this thing to go down or read the question.
you're out of control.
What are you laughing about?
Oh, what'd you do?
I don't know. Did I do something?
Yeah.
No, I didn't. All right, where are we?
Way up here.
62 likes, man. We're kicking butt. Oh, there we are. 66. Baby, we're going for 100 now. Where are you going? Oh, okay. Zachary, good to see you here. Will the Alexa 500 be offered in high and low gear? Ratios will both be available for left-hand models.
Yep. So you guys, you know, especially you guys that like to maybe fish multiple reels, yeah, you know, especially the left-hand guys, you're going to be having the option of getting a couple different ones, you know, for whatever you want to do. So yeah, that's going to be awesome. They're going to have a full selection of that.
Jose wants to know, Sam, how the heck did you get into the tackle business? How did it all start? You know, for me, it started when I went to pawn a rod and reel when I was broke. But how did it start for you?
You know, I mean, I've been in the tackle business one way or another for a long, long time. You know, my first job I ever had was working on a fishing barge, you know. So that to me was kind of the first time I was able to really, you know, help people out, you know, and that's always been my thing here is being able to help people out. So you go on to, you know, work on the fishing barge, you know, since it's kind of like basically like a floating pier, you're going to get a lot of guys who are beginners. So it was a lot of opportunities to get people, you know, their first time fishing, helping them out. So we tied a lot of knots. We helped a lot of guys, you know, do a lot of different stuff, you know. And so that was kind of my first introduction to it, and really, honestly, I fell in love with it ever since. So after that, after high school, I worked at a Turner's. After that, some years later, I kind of didn't work at a fishing business for a few years, but after that, I worked at Baja Fish Gear in Lomita. I did that for about, I don't know, 12 years, 15 years, something like that. And honestly, for me, there was kind of a little bit of a drive after doing it for so long, and I think anybody who does something for a while feels like, well, I can do this, but you don't ever know until you try it. And so the opportunity came for me, not really an opportunity. I think more of a motivation. Once me and my wife Adriana found out we were pregnant, I was thinking to myself, well, if I'm ever going to do this,
Now's the time.
now is the time to give it a shot.
Yeah.
Once the kids grow up and we kind of get settled in a routine, it's going to be hard to really break away from something like that. And so irregardless of what I was going to need to go into some type of business, or line of work that maybe offers some benefits or better pay or things like that. And not that this has been like, any of those, better pay or benefits, but definitely been something that if I was ever going to do it, and thanks to God, we have had some success here. We've been really, really lucky. We've, come into this business at a time in which the fishing was turned from good to like historic. And so it's really been a lot of, luck, So the point at where we're at right now, I think couldn't have happened unless we just got lucky. I feel like, yeah, granted, I worked real hard and did all the things that I needed to do to, make good choices and just show up for work every day and that kind of thing. But really, without the good fishing that we've had, historic fishing, I don't think this would have been possible. So to me, I think that
It's like a blessing from.
it is. I mean, there was just something that nobody could have predicted. I
Yeah.
mean, not in a million years. It's like predicting albacore. It's never going to happen, right? So I
Is
think
that a shot at me?
no, the albacore, not you,
Okay.
or the people who predict it.
Yeah, really. That's me.
You're not the only one. I'm sure there's many people who predict it.
I don't know. I'm pretty good, man. I've got 3 years in a row of being
Yeah,
wrong.
yeah.
So
That's when it started.
I'm going for 4.
But Jose, I mean, that's kind of in a nutshell, and thanks to you, thanks to my customers, too, that keep coming back and trust me, for advice. That's been the big deal for me is just, you know, that's the other part of it too. So where, a guy comes in and says, "Hey Sam, I'm going to go on a 2-day trip. This is what I got. What do I need?" And I try to steer them in the right way, the best to my ability. And they go fishing, they have a good trip, they come back and they say, "Sam, you know what? Right on, man. Exactly what you told me is what I needed." And I caught a big fish, and thanks a lot, man. That was awesome. And so having that happen to me over the years is really the reason I keep doing it. I think that with all the work that I've done and time that I've put in, if I didn't get that back, I don't know if I would do it. And so I just thanks to all my customers for giving me that feedback, man. It's been
And do you
awesome.
still have the same enthusiasm about this as you had years
For
ago?
sure,
Yeah,
for sure.
I think you do. I can see you do.
Yeah, and it's all stems from that. It's I have a good time doing it. That's the other part of it too. Sometimes like they always say the saying of if you love your work, you don't work a day in your
Yeah,
life type
right.
of thing. And I do, and I love it. I don't know how anybody couldn't. I mean, this is such an awesome community of people who do something they love to do, and they hang out, and that's the other part of it too. So it's kind of almost like a barbershop type situation here. Guys come and hang out and see what's going on. Maybe they're trying to get like some scoop about the fishing or what's going on. What's biting. How are they catching them.
Yeah,
And so I get to be that. I get to be the nucleus of all that stuff. And so to me, that's awesome to be able to provide that. So yeah, I mean that's kind of what it was. Another thing too, that growing up, I think we take it for granted. When I was growing up, we had Arts, Yo's, Perfields, a bunch of shops in our area that were, I mean, if you think back, there were like legendary historic shops that really brought a lot of the fishing that we know now. They brought it to the fishery to our industry. So, I was just lucky to have grown up in this area. You kind of take it for granted. Someone that lives up north or out of state would have no idea, how this stuff comes around. I mean, Saber Rods at one time was here in Carson. I mean,
yeah.
Newell Reels, development of that. Accurate Reels. Seeker Rods right here in Long Beach, CalStar and Gardena. Because and Danny Kadota points it out all the time because of the aerospace and the technology that comes out of this South Bay LA area. we've been able to really benefit from that for so many different ways,
Yeah,
from
100%.
technology and methods and things like that. So that's another thing too, that I do my best to try to like make this a place that people can bring that information to. And so year after year, things come around, and it's not that I come up with it, but maybe I'm witness to it, and then we can bring it to the public as a way of doing something. So that's awesome too. So I mean, it's in a way, I'm kind of a gear geek. You mentioned earlier, man, how do these guys know all these numbers and letters and
Yeah,
stuff like
right.
that? I look at that and I know exactly what he's
Yeah, I
talking
know you
about.
do. That's
No
why I
problem.
defer to you all the
Yeah,
time, man. You know.
but that's just kind of what I love. I really love tackle. And that's probably the best way to say it is, I love tackle and I love everything that comes with it, and it's just something that I'm fortunate to be able to do.
I'm with you on that. As you want to know how demented I am, when I wake up at 4:30 in the morning, I never ever say, "Damn it, I got to do that crappy morning." But I go like, "Oh man, it's almost showtime."
Yeah.
Start to research and read, and maybe call somebody and get everything, and then go down there and try
Do
to
it.
put on a show and
Yeah.
inform everybody. So I know exactly what you are talking about. Sarah Harnjack says 62 likes now. I think we're up to 70 something since Sarah said that. So thank you, Sarah. Hit that like button, everybody. Surging up past 90 viewers right now. We love it. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Christopher Bailey. Good evening, Phil and Sam. Christopher, it's great to hear from you. I just wanted to give my 2 cents on the squid treks. I have been using them for over a year now, fishing out of Puerto Penasco. Are you kidding me? I want to go there. I've never been there. Chris, save me a spot, man. I've caught everything from halibut, yellowtail, corvina, triggers, and grouper on the squid treks. Has become one of my favorites. Chris, we will take that endorsement to the bank, man.
One more.
And oh yeah, shoot, and lures to drop, and now they just released the heavier ones. Yeah, I saw that, man, which I got, and I'm excited to get those down there on some rock piles. Yeah, that's got to be bitching. I highly recommend squid treks. And I want to fish Puerto Penasco sometime. So that's over in Sonora, right?
Yeah.
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 Rocky Point, I think. The gringos call it. So yeah, I'm definitely all over that. Hey, Chris, thanks for sharing that. Really appreciate it. Rocket Dog. I don't know if we've heard from Rocket Dog for a while.
A bit, huh?
Hi, Phil and Sam. Hope everyone is having a great evening. Same to you, my friend. PNS Hardware. Will you have toddler-sized merchandise?
Why not?
We're gonna have everything.
Why wouldn't you?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, Sam.
Yeah.
Yes. I'm even thinking about when people get old and they need a diaper. I'm thinking about that too for Dan Lightfoot.
How does it feel, Phil?
What? How does what feel?
To sink deeper into this lie.
March 17th.
At one point,
everybody.
He's not going to be able to walk anymore.
I think Sam and I should make a bet almost. I think somebody should be jumping. I think somebody should be jumping off.
I thought your eyes were blue.
Yes. They're looking like brown.
They're turning a little brown.
I think somebody should jump off the docks down at 20 seconds straight. All right, this is going to be something. Toddler size, of course. We'll have it all. I guarantee you.
Keep bringing it. What else?
Cholula's calamari and kayak rentals. Phoenix Rods was bought by GSM Outdoors, moved to Texas, and is having some issues with the switchover. Do you know if the California guys that worked for Phoenix will be doing their own thing in California?
As far as I know, I haven't heard that. I mean, generally, anytime you're going to have a big move like that, there's going to be a little bit of time in which the new guys figure out how to do it. And I don't think that's going to be an issue, really. I haven't really seen any issues as far as that from the switchover myself. Nothing that wouldn't be out of the ordinary from moving a whole company from one state to another. So I wouldn't be too concerned with anything like that. In fact, I talked to them at length at the BART Hall Show, for those concerns as well, because I had questions about it, but nothing that I had heard of anybody saying that they had any issues, but definitely had questions. And to my best, response to that is that they kind of cleared up all those questions. They're going to be able to provide us with the freight program. What that means basically is the big question is when you're shipping long rods, there's always an extra cost involved, So what they expressed to me was that they were going to have a freight program that is totally workable to be able to continue to ship long rods. And one of the reasons that becomes a problem is, that FedEx, UPS, they charge a lot of money to ship large items.
Yeah.
Well, GSM is a gigantic company. I mean, they're giant. They own like 42 brands or something like that. And when you have something like that and you're shipping out, a big company around here would ship like maybe 40, 50 packages a day, which would be a lot of packing. Well, GSM probably ships out like 50,000 packages a day.
Jeez.
Like a lot. It's a real giant operation,
Yeah.
a big giant warehouse. So when you're shipping that kind of volume, you're going to get a better rate. And so the way it was explained to me that those long rods are not an issue. It's a non-issue really for a company like that. Yeah, they're going to pay a few more dollars, but not to the point where it's going to get in the way of any kind of logistical issues. So as far as I understood it, the long rods are not going to be an issue, which is kind of one of the big concerns. But past that, the production of the blanks and the rods is overseas. So it isn't like the production went from California to Texas.
Yeah.
The production of the blanks and rods
China
is going to be
whatever.
in the same factory that they've always been made.
Yeah.
And the same quality and all that kind of stuff. As far as the guys that worked for Phoenix here at in California, I'm sure some of the guys stayed on, the guys that have the ability to make that move, and some of the guys didn't. So, but I don't think anybody's moving to Texas. I think they're working out of here to support that brand. So, for now, I wouldn't be too concerned with stuff like that. Down the road, we'll see how that goes. I think that for now, my questions were answered sufficiently, and I wouldn't have too many concerns for the near future, for sure.
All right. Tremendous answer. Sam, once again, you've shined beyond my wildest expectations. I don't have real big expectations, but you've done it again.
Mr. Brown Eye.
Greg Bates. Sam, I only take cash. Do you remember what that was in reference to?
I take only cash now.
I don't either.
I don't either.
Greg Bates, the leprechaun, or the whatever. What is
Cash,
it? The elf.
sorry.
Yeah. Huh? Yeah, well, I read down below and combined his comments together.
I got you.
All right, Greg, he only takes cash. Okay.
He should only take cash. A guy like that,
What, a leper or a elf?
I have no idea.
Yeah, really. Me either. Rocket Dog says, you need some tackle shop confession shirts.
So you'll have...
I didn't say that.
You'll have Phil Frieman shirts and...
What are the tackle shop confessions?
Whatever
we
you
don't
want
to
it to
get
be.
blasphemous here. I mean, I don't think we need like somebody in a confessional in a Roman Catholic.
No, I wouldn't do that.
Right? I wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
But we'll come up with something. Yeah, right? Maybe Ojos Locos, Scott's favorite
you will
place.
not.
Stop.
100%.
March 7th. Hey, Lightfoot, what do you think? Will we have some merch on the 17th or not?
I hope so.
The damn gauntlet is thrown down.
I hope so, he said. I hope so.
I know. Stop.
Even your biggest fan.
Pokedad. Fishes. Good evening, gents. Great to have you with us. Thank you so much. Albert Ponce. Don Alberto, as my wife used to call my father. Good evening, fellas. Hey, Albert, it was so good seeing you, Crystal, and the kids. Man, you guys made my day right there in front of your booth. It was really, really great. Isaac, Sam, Dan, and I had a conversation on what size hooks for this season, smallest to biggest.
Mm-hmm. We did.
Do you want to repeat any of that, or are you just going to keep it between you guys?
Smallest to biggest. Well, I mean, Jesus, from the smallest that they make to the biggest that they make, really.
Well, the size 4 for the tuna fish or whatever.
Yeah, all of that, really. I mean,
pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, if you don't have any hooks, if someone stole all your hooks, you're going to need to buy everything from a size 6 circle hook all the way to a 5.0 or 6.0 circle hook in various, diameters. And also, too, you're going to need treble hooks. You're going to need J hooks from size 4 to maybe a 2.0 or a 3.0. And depending on what kind of fishing you're going to do, if you're going to be doing some kite fishing, you might need some kite hooks. There's some kite rigs right there.
Oh, yeah.
Straight ahead. No. Those are kites. Right? Straight where the hooks are to the left. Right there. No, you had them right there on the top.
Where?
The hooks are the pointy things.
Oh, hooks.
And then they have a little circle.
Are you looking at this?
Where you tie your line. Yeah.
I was looking.
There's the only one thing.
I'm looking for a kite.
There's one hook in that whole wall.
I don't pay attention when you talk to me. I tune you out most of the time.
So these are hooks here, guys. Well,
pay
Phil.
attention. Help him out next time.
So this would be a larger hook here for the kite. I mean, so potentially even something like this here. But yeah, I mean, there's so many different variables that come into play. So sometimes it's a matter of maybe your bait size. You get into some really small bait, you need some really small hooks. And then maybe even like rock fishing, you might use some thinner wire hooks for rock fishing, maybe 2-0, 1-0, or 2-0 hooks like that. But it's kind of a question that doesn't really have a definite answer until fishing starts to go. But if you wanted to kind of narrow it down, I'd say size 2 to 2-0 is going to be your range, and I'd have some circle hooks and some J hooks and a smaller or medium wire and a heavier wire for both of those. It's kind of where I would go.
Cool Granddaddy Sweets Forever Sam met Phil right after I left your booth, and as long as he gets the wings and my free fishing trip, nobody will see the video. Yes.
There you go.
What video?
I don't know.
Uh-oh.
We'll give him the trip.
Oh, he might be the guy. Oh, I know who that guy is. Yeah, he gave me a kiss. He was so thrilled to meet me. Yeah, and I returned the favor.
You did.
Go ahead, put that video out. I'm secure in my masculinity. I'm not afraid of that.
No.
Nah.
Maybe that'll be the shirt.
Yeah, that could be the shirt. You and I kissing. Yeah, my wife is going to divorce me, actually. I thought Scott had screwed me up. This guy's going to really ruin me. Ken Trenholm, don't forget stickers.
I need stickers, too.
And stickers.
So we got stickers, shirts, hats,
T-shirts,
kid sizes.
Yeah, oh my God, baby sizes, adult diapers.
Yep.
We got it all, man. It's coming up. Don't worry, everybody. Greg Bates, is that going to happen? Of course it is. With the help of an elf, I can't help but go wrong. Joe Lopez, and also am looking into getting an inflatable dinghy or kayak to fish the coastal kelp and bays. By any chance, you guys got any recommendations? Have heard any guys in the shop do that? Thank you.
Honestly, it doesn't come to mind. I think I have heard a couple guys doing it, but I never asked them what kind. Something like that, I'd probably look into maybe checking out a West Marine or something like that. Maybe that they might have some stuff like that. But I don't really want to recommend something like that. I'm not really that familiar.
Yeah, it's out of your area of expertise. Does anybody in here do it, like Andrew or any of these guys? No?
No.
Yeah.
No.
All right.
Not that I know of.
Yeah. Cool. Granddaddy Sweets Forever is back. Of him trying to kiss me over and over. Boy, I didn't know.
Wow.
I'm going to have a sexual harassment suit here.
Is that the day you were drinking?
Oh, yeah. Sam, you're really going to get me in trouble now, man. I had like 6 Diet Cokes that day. Paco Velis, the bartender, was feeding me all kinds of stuff. Great to see Paco. I don't know. You don't know him, do you?
No.
When you first come in, like past the Western Outdoor News, there's a Mexicano there. And I've known Paco for 40 years, and he's just a super nice guy, man. It was his birthday, so I got to wish him a happy birthday.
Awesome.
Really, really had lunch with him, so it was great. All right, yes, kissing over and over. Wow. Okay, Polka Dad Fishes, can you guys recommend a couple halibut rod and reel setups? Sam.
So I'd probably start off with, the smaller size reel, something like a Saltist, 20, something like that, around that size, a Sea Line 20. Trinidad 14, 20 and 14 size reel. So that'd be the size of reel that I would recommend. And you're going to want to get into a little bit longer rod, maybe something like 8 or 9 foot, and generally kind of soft, something rated like a 20 to 40, 15 to 40 type of rod, nothing real heavy. And the line size, depending on what you're trying to do, as far as your volume, halibut rod, most of the time you're fishing 15-pound, 20-pound tests. With these tournaments that they're doing, I think the biggest fishing was like 25 pounds or something like that. You might be fishing some heavier line because you're trying to, win a tournament. Might try a little heavier fluorocarbon or something like that, maybe 20 or 25-pound test. You hook a big fish like that over 25 pounds, you might need it. But as far as for everyday halibut fishing, something in like like I said, 8 to 9 foot, something not too fast, something kind of a moderate or medium taper, and a smaller reel.
Very good. Thank you, Sam. Thank you for the great question. Lots of people watching. I don't know how many likes we have. Dan will let me know in a second. I'm going to guess 82. How's that for a guess? 75. Bad guess. Come on, hit that like button, everybody. Thanks for subscribing to the Friedman Adventures channel. We've been going now for 85 minutes, so almost an hour and a half, and it doesn't feel like it. Aaron says, damn, Sam, that was real. All I have to say is it wasn't luck. was your time, and you did what most won't do: take the initiative and put in the work and time. Yeah, for sure, right? I mean,
Yeah.
this does not happen
No.
without a lot of work.
Yeah, I guess it's like anything else. You're gonna lose weight, work out, whatever. The hardest part is just getting off your butt. I mean, that really is. Once you get started, I think it's a lot easier. But you got to go. You got to do it. You got to show up every day, like any other kind of endeavor. So
That's for sure. And you also have to be of the mindset that your first year or two or however long it is, you don't make a lot of money. You're lucky. You're happy in a business to be breaking even in those first few years.
I mean, granted, I didn't go to business school or nothing like that. I mean, all I have is just the motivation to do a good job. Try real hard, do a good job, help people out. And if that was going to work, then I was going to keep doing it. I mean, obviously, I wasn't going to put my family in a situation by losing a bunch of money or nothing like that. I couldn't do that, couldn't afford to do that. But fortunately, it came through at the right time. It really was all about timing and luck. I mean, so I'm never going to discount that. But at the same time, I had to keep coming. It wasn't going to happen by itself. I wasn't going to just sit at home and it was just going to come rolling in or nothing like that. So, I come to work every day with the same attitude. I'm the first guy to try to be the most helpful, person around. And as long as I keep doing that, I feel like everything will be all right.
You keep your crew very motivated too, because I never have ever heard you say anything to one of your crew guys like, "Hey, man, you should blah blah blah." Seems like they're doing what they're supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
And I see it all the time, how polite and courteous and welcoming and knowledgeable they all are. So you've done a good job there. That's not as easy as you might think, right? When you have a myriad of different guys working, different personalities.
I mean, through the years we've had guys here, we've had guys come and go for different reasons. Some guys have gone on to some bigger and better things. Good for them. And I think the guys who maybe it wasn't for them, they just kind of figure a way out, and that's fine too, because helping people out it's not for everybody. And I've come to realize that that's just the thing. And I think that the kids that I got coming working for me now, and Steve, he's not a kid, he's older than I am, but these guys enjoy helping people, and I think that you got to be able to like that. And this is the kind of job that you kind of have to like, I think, to do. So, yeah, these guys are great.
By the way, Steve was so nice to me when I walked up to the Island Fishing Tqckle booth and I said, "Hey, Sam." He goes, "Hey, the internet just went down. Thanks, Phil."
Yeah.
Like I had something to do with it. Hey, James Blanchard, Sam, thank you so much for all the information you gave to my son and I for our trip on the Independence. Really appreciate all your help.
No problem. Hope you guys did good.
All right, James, I do too. I hope you had a great trip. Isaac, Michael, what were your thoughts on the show? Any tips for Ethan and Owen? Did you want to say something? No?
Sit down.
It's up to you.
I gotta do something real quick.
Did you like the show?
Yeah.
Did you like the trout pond?
Yeah.
Michael, hold on. Really?
Yeah.
Oh, got it. Oh, yes. Okay. Michael said, I'll just, because he's not mic'd up, he said he really loved the trout pond and he thinks it's a fantastic way to get kids into fishing, to motivate them, to show them how much fun fishing truly is. And Michael also, yeah, okay. He said that the adventure booths, I mean, safaris in Africa, fishing Costa Rica, Mexico adventures. Michael just whispered in my ear that also was one of his favorite things. So there you go. Thank you, man. That was awesome. Good job.
Hey, Michael, do you think he's going to do the T-shirts or not?
Give me that T-shirt I gave you back, you little crook. He's a smart kid.
Super smart
goes
guy.
up in my estimation now. All right, let's see. So those are Michael's thoughts. Greg Bates. Oh, another question for Michael.
There you go. He's hot.
Michael,
He's hot
tell
right
us
now.
about sand and calico bass fishing.
Sand and calico bass fishing is the best. Sand bass and calico bass are real good fight.
They fight hard.
Yeah, they fight good. And to be honest, that's what my main thing to go for when I'm at the docks
There you
or
go.
wherever I'm fishing at. So that's what I think.
What kind of rod and reel do you use?
I use a Daiwa rod and reel that Phil gave me.
There
It's
you
like
go.
a 2-piece.
Oh, Phil Gay. Thank you, Michael. What do you mean I'm not going to have the merch ready? Go ahead.
And
And what did Brian Burrell, the deckhand on the Monte Carlo, what did he teach you? And you caught a limit of sand bass when other people were not catching them. What was the tip that he gave you?
He just told me to change that lead head. Don't use that lead head. It's just gonna catch.
Egg sinker.
Yeah, use an egg sinker for sized hook and
light.
And light line.
There you go. Yeah, like 20-pound you were fishing,
Yeah,
right?
I was fishing 20-pound.
That's an excellent answer.
That's it
God
right there,
darn
man.
it,
He's
Michael.
got it.
That's beautiful. You're going to get at least 2 chicken wings tonight after that. I'll tell you that. All right. Trevor Pembroke says, how's bounce balling been for the halibut this year?
It's actually been
You're a guy that likes to
pretty
bounce.
good. Yeah. Stop it. Stop it.
I didn't say anything. Well, do you ever do that?
That's why you stopped running, right?
Oh, no, wait. That's Scott Buger.
So, yeah, it's been pretty good this year, Trevor. I mean, in general, I think there's been a bigger focus on halibut overall.
Mm-hmm.
Bounce balling is kind of a fancy way of like drift fishing, you know, and it does work really good, you know, using a little bit heavier weight. I think it comes from that style of fishing they do up north out of the Bay Area where they're using a heavy weight to kind of disrupt the bottom and keep contact on the bottom. And it's super successful. I know some of the guys who do it commercially, that's kind of how they catch fish. So this year has been a good halibut year, Mr. Bounce Baller.
Ouch. I thought you were going to. Hey, Cool Granddaddy Sweets Forever is cracking up, man, over that kissing session that we went through at the BART Hall Show. That was great. Hey, by the way, you were super great. Thank you so much for coming by. Raul Almaraz. Sam, earlier I asked about the 15T. I have a UC CP 76-8XH. Would that be a good rod to pair with it?
Yeah, awesome. That's a really nice rod, actually. Be pretty good.
All right, perfect. Scott Buchert is here, and he says, Philip got gypped today from Ralph.
He did, didn't he?
Yeah, I got gypped from Ralph.
Woo!
Ralph just came after me, and both barrels are blazing, man.
He was bounce balling you.
What does that mean? Yeah, he was. Scott, you're bouncing your balls again. That's terrible. Yeah, don't do that, especially at Ojos Locos. They'll throw you in jail. Real-time fishing. I agree with Greg. SD Fish and SIP Mikey for
the solo skiff, yeah.
Oh, yeah, there you go, right?
Yeah, you know what that is?
No. I have no idea.
Why would you say that then?
I don't know. Just trying to get through this question, man.
So
I'm a little dingy myself.
Yes, you are.
Yeah,
yes, you are. So that Mikey, he's got a channel, SD Fishing Tips.
Oh, okay, there you
go.
Okay,
so you got to get it together. And he fishes a kayak with the motor on it, type of thing. It's called a solo skiff.
Somebody recommended that I talked to. Was that you?
Yes.
Yeah, you were saying he's a great guy or blah, blah, blah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He is.
Great. I know. I'm not.
So that's the guy that he's referring to.
Well, we should work together on something, him and I.
And so that solo skiff is kind of like maybe what this guy with the inflatable dinghy might be. You know, maybe is a recommendation for that.
Right. Yeah. And his channel is SD
Fishing Tips.
Okay. Yeah, I see him pop up on my feed once in a while. So yeah.
He's a really he's probably one of the better channels on YouTube.
Way better than this one, right?
Way better.
All right, Dan Bates, School of Hard Knocks, the best school.
Yes, you're right.
You think that's true?
Yep.
You do?
For sure.
I do too.
Yeah.
I do. I honestly do.
Have you ever had that?
Yeah, I've had it, and I think that and traveling around the world
Yes.
is a great education for people too. I mean,
it is kind of do it, especially when you like to brag.
Yeah, I'm not bragging about anything. Scott Bucher is going to come back here in a second. Great, Michael. Great information, they said.
It was.
Shake your head like, thank you very much. I appreciate you saying that. Yes, instead of like, what? All right. Greg Bucher or Scott Butchert says Ralph. Yeah, who is Ralph?
He's so mean.
Yeah, Ralph. Yeah. All right, Halibut Man, Mitchell.
Here we go.
Michael, have you ever caught a yellowtail? Hope they are biting good this year so we can get some forkies. Mitchell, you're the man. I love you. Go ahead.
Yeah, actually, I have. I caught my first one and my second one. I was on the Voyager. We were fishing the rock pile. I had a swim bait meant for yellowtail, and the barracuda were keep on biting it, and so I just decided to change to um live bait, and I just started flying lighting, and I got bit like that.
Awesome.
So I hope that too, Mitchell.
That was a great answer. The
Heck
Rocky, you know all the spots and everything, man. Right down there, South Cal Bridge on the pile, baby. They're biting good. That's a great answer. Good job. All right, you're up to 3 chicken wings. Yeah. Yeah. Hey, man, this is the last question.
That's it.
You want to get out of here. I'm like amped up after that. I drank, I poured in so much coffee of that thing. Live free, die free. He says, good evening, Phil and Sam. Are you doing any specials? You haven't had time to think about it, I'm
Not
sure.
really, no. We got to get the store back together. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I don't want to invite anybody to see this mess here.
Is it open now?
It's open, yeah. Anybody can come down.
It doesn't look bad. It's
Well, a bunch of aisles you can't get through and things like
Well-
that. But, I mean, I'm sure guys will understand. But at the same time, if you need to get something right away, we'll make it happen. But it is a little bit of a mess here. And, through the week here, we're going to be getting it back together. And the guys are working real hard. And we'll have it back together. But for right now, let's just kind of hold off on all that. Yeah.
all right, Sam. Let's talk about the next BART Hall Show. It's February 15th through the 18th at the Del Mar Fairgrounds. You looking forward to that one?
Yeah. That show's a little bit more laid back than this one here. This one's like definitely hot and heavy. That one there, a little more laid back. It's a little more open the way that they do it. They have the inside and outside, and a little smaller venue. But I will say that it's kind of almost more of a family type venue.
Yeah.
Although this year we saw a lot of families at the Long Beach show, so maybe we'll see just as many down there as well. So I will say that for down there, once again, like before, we start getting low on stuff. Even this show, we ran out of some stuff. So we're already starting to run out. So for you guys that are shopping blanks, we talked about the rain shadows earlier. We had a super great promotion on those. We're probably going to run out of some of that stuff as well. So if you guys are into that, come on down. Also, too, we just got some more electric reels from Daiwa, that 750 size. We had ran out at the Long Beach show, but we got a bunch we're going to take down to San Diego. And I think those are being discontinued in that size. They're only going to make these bigger ones now. And so if you want to take advantage of one of those for your rock fishing or fishing the kite, we'll have those down at the Del Mar show. So things like that, I'm looking forward to continue to bring good deals to you guys. But definitely looking forward to it. Yeah.
And just when you thought you were going to get away, we have a few more questions. But when are we debuting the Lexa 500 here on the Tackle Shop Confession Show?
February 26th.
February 26th, right after Valentine's Day.
Although that fishing tips guy, he hit me up. Maybe we'll do it in the morning there. Then
Hey. All right. Let's see. What's our next one here? Sam, thanks. I also have a UC CP80H and want to know what reel to pair it with.
Something like a 2-speed, even a reel like this size, maybe a little smaller, like a JX or maybe a Saltiga 35 2-speed, something in that range. Maybe even like a 25 size of these pens would be good as well. So just the next size down is kind of what I would go with.
All right, excellent. I don't know who wants to get out of here more, you or Michael with the chicken wings, but yeah. All right. Let's see. Halibut Man, Mikey from SD Fish and Sips is such a genuine nice guy. And
super nice guy.
Super nice guy, pardon me. And I highly recommend you go to his YouTube channel when this show concludes pretty soon. I don't know when it's going to conclude. Sam is starting to go insane here next to me. Good evening, gentlemen. Great show, says Isaac. Live free, die free. The bugs are crawling. Sleigh Day SoCal held a tournament last Saturday night. I heard it was a great tournament. I posted, what's the name of that guy? I can't remember. But
Fishing Sips?
No, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. But somebody had a bunch of lobster. Dave Hansen came in second place by I don't know. He was saying oh my God, it was so close and we should have won. And so Dave Hansen doing it as always, kicking. But Rocket Dog, any BTG 6480 blanks walking in the door again?
Yeah, we had him at the Long Beach show. They actually did have them there. So I'm not sure if we're going to get any more here real soon. If they do, we will post up about them. But after this next week or so, 2 weeks, start getting ready for the show again. The next chance might be down at Del Mar. But if we get them before that, I'll go ahead and post that up again. But we did have them at the Long Beach show, at least on the first day we did.
And we're up to 83 likes, almost to 100, everybody. Thank you so much for that. We deeply appreciate it. You can share this with a friend. That would be great if you did that. Subscribe to the Friedman Adventures YouTube channel. I'll be back in a few more hours with the morning briefing before I drive to Ensenada with the elf at my side. I'd like to, but you know what? We're going to get in there and do that meeting. And then I'm going to do a little content. And then Thursday's supposed to be a hell of a rainy day.
Down there too?
Yeah. Yeah, windy and rainy. And
be careful.
You know how that goes in TJ. Sometimes they just flood out. So we may be down there for a little longer than I anticipated. Anyway,
yeah.
Greg, you may want to take a week off work. Cool. Daddy, sweets, forever. Because of my kissing abilities. Says, oh, actually, it's from Michael. $10. Thank you so much.
There
really
you go,
deeply appreciate it. Here, Michael, 5 more wings, mi hijo.
Now he's got to eat like 10
Great
wings.
help. Yeah, now you're up to 8 wings. Can you do that? Now he's getting excited. Albert Roy says, good evening. You want to get out of here while we can?
Let's do this.
Sam, thank you so much. Why don't you tell everybody where you're located and all that great stuff with the great Michael Limon at your side.
We are at 21809 Avalon Boulevard, City of Carson. Phone number here is 310-707-1205. We are open Monday through Saturday, 10 to 6. We will be going down to the Del Mar BART Hall Show, and come see us down there if you guys are down in that area. You can reach me through social media, Facebook and Instagram on Island Fishing Tqckle, or you can send me an email, sam@islandfishingtqckle.com. Anytime, guys. We're here to help you out here.
Also, let's see. Albert Roy says, hey, Phil, sorry I'm late to tackle shop. What tackle shop are you guys at? And Sam just answered that question, right?
Yeah, Island Fishing Tqckle here, City of Carson.
Yeah, there you go, Albert. Michael, I heard it's all you can eat wings tonight. Okay, and Richie Rich says thanks, guys. All right, Sam, thank you.
We are out of here.
Michael, thank you. Great job. Thanks for contributing.
Wait,
One more. Steve Bermudez. Go ahead, Sam. What's he
Ask
say?
the question.
I have Serene
Saber
196.8 that is from the 70s, and I want to take it out of retirement, but will still be formed or
will it still perform?
Or still be formed,
or will it break?
Or will it break?
Well,
we're not through yet.
It should be fine. Honestly, those old rods, as long as you kept them out of the heat, you should be fine. But I will say this is, just to be sure, go ahead and pull on it. I mean, I hate to say that because if it breaks, then you're going to say it's my fault. But I definitely wouldn't take it fishing unless you kind of give it a nice little pull. But those old glass rods are pretty tough. I would venture to say 99.9% you're going to be fine.
All right, Sam, you're not going anywhere. I think is there another question on the board?
Yeah.
Or not?
Albert Roy, thank you, Phil. I miss
the Sylvie's Taco Shop. I love that place.
I grew up there.
Sylvie's Taco Shop that you're talking about. You just rave about it so many times.
What's the name of it?
Sylvie's Taco Shop.
S-I-L?
Taco. Sylvie, like Sylvia.
S-I-L-V-I-E.
Sylvie's Tackle Shop. Okay, very good. Albert, thank you so
Alrighty.
much. Good night, everybody. Thank you so much. I'll see you for the morning briefing in the morning. Sam, great show as
Here
always.
come wings.
Yeah! Let's go, Michael!